Hello everyone and welcome to a Let's Play of King's Quest 6 AGI Demake. My name is Brandon Corey and I am the creator of this game. I've been waiting 18 years for this moment. Yes, it took about 18 years to make this game and I am just thrilled beyond belief and excited to have you here with me today to share it with you, to play through it with you. This game is a reimagining of Sierra Online's original King's Quest 6, Air Today, Gone Tomorrow, using the AGI game engine from the 1980s, used by Sierra to make a lot of their games during that time. So, super excited to have you here, and we're going to have a blast and a lot of fun playing this, so I just cannot wait. I am playing this game in DOSBox. It's highly recommended that if you play this game to use DOSBox and the interpreter that's supplied with the game, just to make sure that everything runs predictably. And yes, at the time of this recording, you can download this game. Just visit the website KQ6AGI.com. That's KQ, the number 6, AGI.com, and you can download the game there. If the website is not available, you can also check out sciprogramming.com as well, and then check under their fan-made games section, and you should be able to find it there. But anyway, let's get started here. So, the game is called King's Quest 6 AGI, and here we go. Oh my goodness, I'm just so excited to do this. Just want to thank everybody out there who has supported me over the years in producing this game. Those of you on YouTube who have commented on the videos that I've posted. It's because of you that I've had the motivation to work on this game and finish it over these past 18 years, so thank you so much. I owe a lot to you. This would not have been possible without you. So hopefully the sound and everything is all set up. I've never done a Let's Play before, so we'll see how it goes. And I'm kind of sick today, not feeling the greatest. I have a bit of a scratchy throat and a cough, so if you hear me clear my throat or cough or anything, that's the reason why. So here we go, opening screen! We have some music taken from King's Quest 4 introduction. This game uses a lot of resources directly pulled from other games. There's a list of them in the credits, but for now, let's go ahead and start the opening introduction movie. Here we go, and we have some music that's directly taken from the original King's Quest 6 game. Long ago in the castle of a kingdom called Daventry. I'm going to do my best with these voices and narrations. Here we got a King's Quest 4 AGI background with some sprites taken from some other games as well. Alexander, here you are. Oh, you're still not thinking about Cassima, are you? I suppose I am. Son, it's been months. You've got to pull yourself together. After all, you only met her that once. I know. Have you discovered anything about the land of the Green Isles? No. No one's even heard of it. It's like she's just vanished. I wish I could help. Please try to think about something else, dear. I'll try, Mother. So, I'm going to do my best with the voice acting. Hopefully it'll be reminiscent of the originals. We got some more music taken from the game. Despite his family's concern, Alexander remains tormented by thoughts of Cassima. And Magic Mirror, I believe taken from King's Quest 4 introduction and kind of a cobbled together scene. We have a repurposed Janesta fairy as Cassima. Looks like she dyed her hair black. I don't know what to do, Alexander. I wish you were here. Cassima, wait! Mother! Mother, come quick! Alexander, what on earth? Ah, you're white as a ghost. Mother, I saw Cassima. She was in the mirror. In the mirror? The magic mirror? Yes, and it showed me how to find her. How? The stars. I saw the stars outside her window. I can navigate by the stars. Oh, Alexander, if you really go... It will be all right, Mother. I promise. Oh, boy. Got some more game music. 3 long months, Prince Alexander sailed the known seas and beyond. I believe that ship is taken from Gold Rush, and the shark and jumping fish are, from some other King's Quest games. The ship here is repurposed from Gold Rush, and the music, I believe, is also from King's Quest 4 AGI version. Gold Rush telescope animation there. And looking through the telescope, there it is! Is it the land of the Green Isles? Who knows? Land ho! Land ho! Hours pass. And this music is also from King's Quest 4. It is Lolop's Goon theme. So some of the sounds in this game are 3-channel, and most of them are 1-channel. So if you are playing it with a 3-channel setting, hopefully it's not too jarring to suddenly have those 1-channel sounds. But right now we're just doing the 1-channel sound. Sinking ship, I think, was from Gold Rush as well. Alexander awakens to find himself on the shores of a strange beach. Alright, folks, here we go. Welcome to King's Quest 6 AGI Demake. Pressing escape brings up the menu system. Here you can access your inventory, game controls, and an extensive help section. Be sure to check out the credits for both this and the original game. Have fun! Alright, so to get started, if you press escape, you do get the little menu system here. We'll change the speed to fast so that we're not slogging through mud. So if you go to the About section, you can read about this game, how it was made, all the things that were involved with doing it. This game, let's see here, and if we go to credits, you can look at credits for this game. And these are a list of some of the games that the graphics and sounds were borrowed from. And a very, very, very special thanks to this list of people. Without them, this game would not have been possible. Very, very, very important people behind what led to creating this game. If you do go to the About section, we can read that this game was assembled and compiled using AGI Studio, and game resources were created and edited using WinAGI GDS. Sound resources were developed using MF2Roll and Roll2Sound. Other resources were extracted using SCI Companion. And then, of course, we just looked at the credit section that lists the names of people behind these indispensable applications, and without them, this game would not be possible. So my big heartfelt thanks goes out to you. And we have credits for the original King's Quest 6 Air Today, Gone Tomorrow game, written and designed by Roberta Williams and Jane Jensen. You can look at all the other people involved with the original game. And then also we have a little help section here. It gives you information on how to play the game. This text was taken from, I believe, the game pamphlet. And we have some hints on how to type. Since this is a typing game, it is not a point-and-click game. So you can look at that for some helpful tips and tricks. And then talking about the power of using the typing look. So if we type look, Alexander is standing on a beach littered with debris from his shipwreck. A path leads north into the lush green island. An occasional breeze rustles the nearby foliage. And I really can't do a good Bill Ratner voice. I wish I could. There is a board laying on the beach. There is a ring laying on the beach. Is it laying or lying? I don't know. Already we got some problems maybe. Alright, so if we say move board, Alexander pushes the plank to one side. And the little score sound there I put in kind of for a nostalgic flavor. Hopefully it's not too annoying, but I think it's a nice touch. A box has been partially buried under sand. Okay, we'll open the box. Alexander opens the box. The box must have opened in the sea, spilling its treasure. Everything has been washed away except for one coin of Daventry. You have a little inset here. Nice King's Quest III arrow. Click on this coin. Alexander takes the coin and leaves the ruined box where it is. And you can see something glinting in the sand here. It must be the ring. Alexander picks up his royal insignia ring from the beach. Okay, there we go. Another thing you can do in this game as a shorthand for typing, in the original point-and-click game, you have a look icon, a hand icon, and a talk icon. So if you say L, that stands for look. If you say H, it stands for hand icon. If you say T, it stands for talk icon. So if we just say T, Alexander will try to talk. Hello? There's no reply to Alexander's call. Type L, you get another description of looking around. So going to the next screen here, if we type L, Alexander is standing at a crossroads. To the left, he can see a village. To the right, a castle. From the south come the sounds of the sea. So if we say, look, L, tree, a grand old tree stretches its luxurious limbs out over the crossroads. So there are different ways. King's Quest VI has a lot of different branches and options. There's a lot of different ways you can start this game, and it can affect your score and the different conversation outcomes that you have. But we're going to start by going to the castle here. Alexander is standing in front of a fabulous castle. The path from the crossroads leads to the castle entrance. The entrance is being guarded by two dog-like creatures. Alright, we'll go up to these dogs here. Halt! No strangers may enter the castle of the crown. And we'll just try talking here. Alexander politely addresses the odd-looking guards at the castle doors, hoping to learn more about his predicament. Good day to you, guards. I was cast upon this island in a storm, and I'm a little confused about my location. Could you tell me what place this is, and who lives in this castle? What is that you say? A castaway? A likely story. We haven't had any foreigners in this part since Alhazred arrived. Don't be so rude, Gruff. He's not asking for any secrets. I think this is maybe I'm coming across as a Muppet or something. You're standing on the Isle of the Crown, lad, and this is the Castle of the Crown. The royal family resides here, or rather, what is left of the royal family. The Isle of the Crown? But tell me, am I anywhere near the land of the Green Isles? This is the land of the Green Isles. The Isle of the Crown is the main island, foolish boy. Then Princess Cassima must live in this very castle. Aye, the princess is indeed our treasured jewel to guard, and we consider it an honor. Well, let's show them our royal insignia ring. Alexander decides to show his royal insignia ring to the Castle of the Crown guards. With all of his papers lost in the shipwreck, it is the only possible calling card he can think of. Good day. I'm Prince Alexander of Daventry. I'm an acquaintance of Princess Cassima. If you could just inform her that I'm here, please. So everyone says. Let me just look at that ring. What does it say, Gruff? Kingdom of Daventry, Prince Alexander. Wait here while I go see what Captain Saladin thinks of this. And all of these background pictures were hand-traced from the original game screens using WinAGI GDS. Hopefully they aren't too messy. Some of them are a bit questionable how they turned out. But the guard returns a moment later with a majestic-looking creature. Captain Saladin speaks with a voice that is gentle but reflects a will of iron. Prince Alexander of Daventry, I presume. I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with your country, but I'm sure Vizier Alhazred will want to meet you, if indeed you are a friend of the princess. Please, follow me. And these dialogue portraits are also taken directly from the original game and converted into 16 colors for the AGI system. Music here is also modified from the original game. Lord Alhazred, a visitor to see you, Prince Alexander of Daventry.
What is it that you seek, Prince Alexander?
Pardon the intrusion, my lord, but I came to see Princess Cassima. Some months ago, my father, King Graham, saved my family and I from imprisonment under an evil wizard named Mordak.
The same wizard that kidnapped the princess?
Exactly. When my father rescued us, he also liberated Cassima and sent her home.
Then your father has my gratitude, and that of the entire kingdom, but I'm afraid I still fail to see the purpose of your visit.
Well, I came to make sure that Cassima arrived safely, and to pay my respects. Before we parted, she gave me an invitation to visit.
I have no doubt she did exactly that at the time, Prince Alexander. However, things have greatly changed for Cassima since her ordeal in Mordak's castle. Cassima's parents both became ill and died while she was gone. Cassima is sequestered in mourning for them, as benefits a princess befits. She is not receiving visitors of any kind. Even if she were, I do not think your visit would be appropriate. You see, it is time for Cassima to take her responsibilities seriously. With her parents gone, she no longer has the luxury to be a carefree maiden. As was her parents' wish, Cassima and I are to be wed. We shall rule the kingdom together. I assure you, our marriage is all
Cassiam. Alright, there's a spelling error. I will note that here and update that.
Once now, as a prince and a gentleman, it would be best that you leave before there is any further embarrassment.
I see. I suppose that I was mistaken. I thought for certain that Cassima... Well, I apologize.
A young man sees what he wishes to see. I'm sorry you've wasted your time traveling to the land of the Green Isles. May your journey home be swift.
Perhaps I will take the opportunity to look around your fair land while I'm here.
I would advise against that. The kingdom is rather, shall we say, inhospitable these days. But it is your neck. You may risk it if you please.
Captain Saladin will escort you from the castle. Good day. So this part of the game, the text was added, 18 years ago maybe, and it was done by hand, typing it by hand, so there are spelling errors. Later on, I used SCI Companion to directly extract the text from the game and paste it right in, so there weren't spelling errors. So if I do find spelling errors, I will correct them and make them correct for the current version of the game on the website. You have had your hearing with Vizier Alhazred. I trust you'll respect his wishes and not return. I have been instructed not to let you into the castle again. Good day, my lord. Captain Saladin whispers something to the guard dogs at the castle gate, and they nod with understanding. And these sprites also were taken from King's Quest VI, the original version. It was challenging to implement them, converting them to 16 colors from 256 colors and the lower resolution. Alexander has a feeling they won't be letting him into the castle again. Oh dear, what is Alexander gonna do now? Alright, let's look around. Alexander is standing next to the side wall of a castle. Unlike the well-guarded castle entrance, this area is deserted. Perhaps the guards are confident that the wall itself is impregnable enough to stop any would-be intruders. A book is laying on the grass. So this is a little feature I added to this game. In the original there is no book, but if we get this book, alright, let's get a little bit closer here. Alexander picks up the book from the ground. It bears the title, Guidebook to the Land of the Green Isles. Alright, so if we read this book, this is the Guidebook to the Land of the Green Isles. This is the pamphlet that comes with the original game. It serves as copy protection in a lot of ways, so this is probably highly illegal to put this in this game, but the whole point of this, you can select and read about these different islands that are in the game. This is the exact text from that pamphlet. But the reason this is in the game is if we look at the Isle of the Sacred Mountain, if you kind of keep going through here, you'll find that there is a list of the symbols of the winged ones with the alphabet. And this can come handy later on when you are climbing the Cliffs of Logic. And while you are doing the puzzles on the Cliffs of Logic, you can access this guidebook and take a look at these symbols and solve the puzzles that way. All right. Moving right along here. And hopefully this, we're going to divide this Let's Play up into different sections. King's Quest VI is a very verbose game. There's a lot of talking in it, a lot of text. This posed a lot of challenges for the AGI system since its memory limitations are so narrow. It can't handle a lot of text. And then combine that with the dialogue portraits, it takes up a lot of memory. It's probably the biggest challenge of producing this game. And a lot of fancy legwork had to be done to get it to run properly with all this memory sucking portraits and text. We've got our lamp seller here. Old lamps for new! Alexander is standing on a sunny village street. There are open shops to his right, a hard-paced path beneath his feet, and palm trees waving over his head. To the north, a key-shaped arch leads to another part of the village. There is a pot near the steps of the pawn shop. So the good thing about using Look is it will tell you about different objects on the screen that will affect your score. So that way you can be sure not to miss anything. Alright, let's talk to this person here. Got any old lamps to trade for a new lamp, Sonny?
Good day, peddler.
Good day, sir. If you would like to get one of my fine new lamps, I'll need an old lamp in trade.
Isn't it rather a bad business, taking old lamps and giving new lamps in exchange?
Well, there's always a chance that I'll find a genie. If I had a genie, I'd be richer than a king. Besides, there's always a roaring business in antique illuminaries. Oh yes, very true. And these steps here, the automatic up and down of the steps was something I added very late, almost one of the last things I added in this game. Before, you had to kind of use the arrows up, right, up, right, up, right, up, right to get up the stairs, but added these automatic climbing for convenience.
Hello, I will be right up. Now, what can I do for you? Alexander is standing in a cozy little shop. Books of every size and shape line the walls. A crackling fire in the fireplace completes the tranquil scene. There is a book laying on the table in the center of the room. There is a spell book on the counter. There are love poems on the shelves at the right hand of the side of the room. This room was very challenging from a text parser perspective. With a point and click, you can just kind of click on different things and get it, but there are so many books and different things you can do in this room that the typing, figuring out what to type and how it should work and the mechanics of it was very challenging. So we'll get this book. Alexander picks up the book from the small table. Oh, yes, please take that book. You have my most humble thanks for doing so, good sir. Really? Thanks.
Alexander reads a passage at random in his new book. 2 dulcimas raised to the degree of 40 half-dulcimas, divided into equal parts by the third of a cackle of grouse geese, put over the result of 10 fine mackles, albeit small fine mackles, stretch over the total of... Ooh. Phew, what an incredibly boring book. No wonder the bookshop owner wanted to get rid of it so badly. And we'll talk here. If you haven't visited the castle, your conversation will be different here, since Alexander already knows where he is.
What can you tell me about the land of the Green Isles? That is a big question, young man. Perhaps you would be so kind as to first tell me who you are and what you want to know exactly.
My name is Alexander. You've said that this is the Isle of the Crown, but I'd like to know whatever else you can tell me about this island, and if there are other islands nearby.
This island is called the Isle of the Crown because the royal family's castle is here. Besides the castle, we also have this village and the docks over to the west. There are at least 3 other islands: the Isle of the Sacred Mountain, the Isle of the Beast, and the Isle of Wonder.
At least 3? Does no one know for certain?
This is no ordinary land, Alexander. The land of the Green Isles has always been a place of vague boundaries, as if islands come and go. Legend speaks of a 4th island, an isle shrouded in mists. I myself have never seen it. Then, too, the land of the Green Isles is said to exist on the boundaries of this world and the next. Even darker places are reputed to be closer here than anywhere else in the world.
That's quite a claim.
Claim, yes, but probably just local superstition. We who live here on the Isle of the Crown at least sleep well enough at night.
Those first 3 islands you mentioned, how might I learn more about them?
Ideally, a young man seeking such knowledge would travel to their shores and learn everything about them firsthand. Meeting the leaders of each place would be helpful, naturally. Unfortunately, the ferry no longer runs between the islands. There has been much political unrest, and it has been too dangerous to travel for years. Perhaps the ferryman can tell you more. He has little enough to do these days. And if you haven't been there already, you might seek an audience at the castle.
Thank you kindly, merchant, for all your good advice.
Ah, but advice is free, Alexander. Making use of it costs much more.
Alright, so on the counter here, there's the spell book. And it is very important to ask about this spell book, or else other parts in the game will not be activated or triggered. How much for that book on the counter, merchant?
It is a fine book, is it not? I obtained it from the estate of the one and only magician this kingdom has ever had. Poofed himself into an aardvark in the end, or so I heard. I never found the spells all that useful myself, but then I lead a boring life. I tell you what, if you can find another rare book, something a bit more marketable, I might be willing to exchange the spellbook for it.
Alright, and then an example of something being really spoon-fed to the player here is if you walk up to this shelf, automatically we get this little sequence. Thinking of Cosima, Alexander decides to leaf through one of the volumes of love poetry. He reads, "Thy hair, thy lips, thy beauteous face, and all thy studied female grace have won for thee anon a place within this broken breast." Not bad. And another? "Upon the shores the lily bends, untouched by worldly care, where shadow they her earthly bed. Oh, that she were not there." Yikes. And another. "What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight I cannot live without the sight of you? What nameless thing has captured me, and made me powerless to flee? What thing is it without a name that brings my mind e'er back the same to thee? The name of love cannot apply, its commonness does not descry the haunted, hunted, painful cry that my heart makes for you, that ere my soul eternal makes for you." A little close to home, that one. Alexander returns the love poem to the shelf. A page from the book of love poems has fallen to the floor. Alexander picks up the fallen page. It's the love poem he particularly liked. It must have fallen out of the poetry book.
I see that old volume has lost another page. You may keep it if you like, sir. I have glued the stubborn thing back in place 2 times already. I do rather like it. Thank you, merchant.
So some things in this game have been made easier for the player, and then some other things have been made a little bit more difficult and less forgiving. So that is one that's been made easier, that all that's given to you just by walking up to the bookshelf. And we will continue up north here. Got some music taken directly from the game. It's very challenging to edit those music sound resources for the AGI system.
You lazy thing! Get back to work and stay away from those roses! I've told you 1,000,000 times. Those flowers are too sweet for the likes of you. You've still got to do the breakfast dishes, make lunch, and clean the stables yet this morning. And get your veil back on. No one wants to look at your face.
Yes, stepmother.
Gosh. Oh, who's that? We got a little mixed up Mother Goose
In set with a blinking, flashing eye. Hey, stranger, come join me. The water is wonderful, and I can show you the way to the next island.
I wonder if we should do that or not.
Come on, jump in. A little water won't hurt you.
And you do have to be careful here. If you walk to the edge of the dock, you will fall in.
What are you waiting for? I said I'd show you how to get to the next island, didn't I? Good day. I'm Alexander. What are you doing in the sea? What does it look like I'm doing? I'm swimming. I mean, come join me. The water's wonderful. I can show you the way to the next island.
Well, the genie, which really hasn't been shown yet, does try to play tricks on you here. Knock, knock, knock.
Yeah, what do you want?
Excuse me, my name is Alexander. The owner of the bookshop in the village told me you might be able to help me. I hear you used to run this ferry for the islands. I'd like to talk to you if you have a moment.
You say old Allie sent ya? I can't see why. The ferry's not running, you know.
I understand. I'd just like to talk to you about the islands, if you don't mind.
Well, I guess it'd be alright if Allie sent ya. Well, don't just stand there. Come on inside.
So I created this screen to facilitate knocking on the door and talking to the ferryman. In the original game, it can be a challenge to get the little tiny talk cursor to touch him. And also, the perspective got really difficult. There isn't a scaling option in AGI, so I created this new page, new picture.
What is it you wanted to talk about, young man?
And we can ask him about all these different things. The most important thing to ask about is number 1. It allows you to eventually learn about the magic map, which will become indispensable later. I'm a visitor to these islands. I'd like to learn what I can about the area.
So you sat outside. What is it you want to know?
Well, for one thing, why has the island's only ferry been dry docked?
It just ain't safe to sail these days, what with the islands feuding and all. Vizier Alhazred ordered the ferry closed till things settle down. Me, I don't think she'll ever see water again.
But why are the islands feuding?
You got me. Something about stolen property or some such thing. It is a real shame. Things used to be so friendly.
Then this unrest is recent.
A few years is all, but it's been long enough.
Perhaps if the ferry were repaired.
This old thing, this ferry's been out of water so long, she's no longer even seaworthy. Her boards have dry rot, and she'd fall apart at the first taste of seawater.
But there must be some way to get off this island.
There's only one other way to travel that I know of. A magic map. The owner of the pawn shop can tell you more about that than I can, Alexander.
So there you go. Now you have the information to ask the pawn shop owner about the map. Oh gosh, what's that rabbit foot?
I see you have a rabbit's foot on the table. Has it brought you much luck?
As you can see, my luck's been out for some time now, despite that old charm. Why don't you take it with you? Perhaps giving the darn thing away will bring me good fortune at last.
Perhaps it will at that. Thank you.
And you are welcome to ask about all these other things. It won't affect anything in the game. It just gives you more information. Excuse me. For now, we'll just leave, since we don't have a whole lot of time to do all that.
Well, I think I'll be going now. Thanks for allowing me into your home.
Gosh, not at all. It breaks the boredom, if you know what I mean. Okay. Heading on up here. Just be careful of that edge. It is easy to fall off and die. There's lots of ways to die in this game. There are many unwinnable states in King's Quest VI, which can be frustrating. And if we go back in the bookstore here, Jolo should have appeared. If you miss seeing Jolo, there's some other opportunities to meet him later in the game and make friends, but this is your first opportunity. And if we walk up to him, it just automatically will start a conversation.
Good day, sir. Is there anything you can tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
Okay, I'm going to tempt Jolo's voice here.
I'm sorry, but I've no time for idle conversation. I'm too worried about the princess.
Wait, you know the princess? And here's some more spoon feeding for the player. Alexander searches his inventory for something to grab the strange man's attention. So now you can select two items that will work are either the copper coin that you found in the box or the royal insignia ring. Either will work. Determined to learn more about the strange man's relationship with the princess, Alexander shows the man his insignia ring and formally introduces himself.
Excuse me, good fellow, but my name is Alexander of Daventry, and I have this...
Daventry? Where have I heard of Daventry? Flying flitmice! You must be Prince Alexander. Cassima told me about you when she arrived home. How came you here?
Why, by a ship, now wrecked upon the sand. But you know Cassima? She truly spoke of me?
Yes, I saw her briefly when she first returned home. She mentioned a prince to me, Prince Alexander of Daventry. I'm afraid that was before she was told about her parents' deaths. You see, she arrived home a few weeks too late. The king and queen thought they'd never see her again. It is said they died of heartbreak. I'm afraid she's blamed herself.
What a terrible homecoming. If we had only known...
Terrible indeed, poor thing. Everything in the kingdom seems to despair with her these days. The streets are silent.
Where is she now?
The princess is sequestered in mourning. It's a rather dated tradition and not required, but the vizier says she insisted out of respect.
I see. You've yet to say who you are and how you know the princess.
Oh, pardon me. My name is Jolo. I am clown to the royal court, and have been since the marriage of Cassima's parents, King Caliphem and Queen Ilaria. Ah, those were happy days. The pair of them were so full of joy in life, so in love. And Cassima's birth, it would be hard to explain how long they had waited, how they had hoped for a child. She was such a charming little thing, smart as a whip, and kind and sweet. She means everything to this kingdom, Alexander, and to me. I'm so terribly worried about her.
About her parents... About her grief over her parents, you mean?
Well, the truth is, I do not trust the vizier, nor his plans for Cassima. I'm still living at the Castle of the Crown as court clown. His clown. But it is more to keep my ear to the ground than out of loyalty. I wish I knew what the princess thinks these days. If only I could find Sing Sing, Cassima's pet nightingale, I might be able to send the princess a message. As it is, I must wait for the end of her seclusion. No, I'm afraid I must hurry back to the castle. I'll try to return to the bookshop again later.
Thank you for speaking with me, Jolo. I hope we meet again soon. Okay, so you have just made friends with Jolo, and this can be, it's not essential, but it can be a very important part of this game. There are a lot of essential and non-essential elements in this game, which can only sometimes be apparent towards the end. And if you follow Jolo, you can follow him all the way to the castle, which is kind of cool, but we'll skip that for now. And here's the pawn shop.
Good day.
And we have, it looks like the genie in disguise again walking around. And there's another little feature I added here. If you walk up to the genie, we get a nice altered manhunter screen.
Out of the way, I don't want to talk.
Look around. The pawn shop is a dimly lit place with a slightly musty smell. Curiosities litter every corner and every shelf. For sale are articles that range from the bizarre to the commonplace, from the priceless to the practical. There are several objects of interest on the main counter. Oh, let's see what's on the counter here. The pawn shop's counter is made of a sturdy teak. The wood is well worn by eager hands and well oiled by the shop's faithful keeper. Several objects rest upon the countertop. A dish of mints, a mechanical nightingale, a flute, a paintbrush, a tinderbox. Let's take a look at the shelves here. The back wall of the shop holds various bottles and potions. For example, a bottle labeled Owl Courage Potion for spineless owls. It's a King's Quest V reference. A hole detector for finding those hard-to-spot holes in small sailboats. Another King's Quest V reference. Cat cookie mix. Play tricks on your friends, the box says. King's Quest III reference. A golden bridle finder for finding those nearly invisible golden bridles. King's Quest IV reference. Self-adhesive emeralds. What you use when you don't have honey. King's Quest V reference. Tongue climbing gear. Tested on over 100 whale tongues. King's Quest IV reference. A uvula tickler. Guaranteed to make large mammals sneeze. Another King's Quest IV reference. A cheese hook for retrieving cheese out of small holes. King's Quest V reference. A shovel that's guaranteed not to break for over 100 grave diggings. King's Quest IV. A bridge repair kit for when you've crossed a bridge too many times. King's Quest II reference. Stair traction pads. Stop slipping off those narrow staircases. And that's for almost any King's Quest. The stairs are really treacherous. Okay. Walk up to the counter, and we have this menu system. This room is kind of complex with all the things you can do in it, you know, talking and trading. So I implemented this little menu to make it a bit easier for the player. So let's talk here. Excuse me, merchant, but the ferryman mentioned that you might have a magic map of the land of the Green Isles.
Why, as a matter of fact, I do. I keep it under the counter. It has been gathering dust so long I nearly forgot about it.
I hope I don't offend anyone with these voices.
It was quite a few years ago, you see. The estate of a wealthy wizard fell into my hands when he died. It was useless magical junk, mostly. Which reminds me, I've still got some things of his in the back that I need to dump out.
Hint, hint.
Anyway, the magic map was the one true treasure in the lot. The wizard was quite old and feeble, and had enchanted the map to aid in traveling. It is said that one need only desire to be on the island depicted on the map to find oneself there. It is a very valuable map, as you can imagine. Unfortunately, no one is interested in traveling these days. It is far too dangerous with the current state of the kingdom. What would you take for the magic map? I would normally want something magic in return, but since I am hardly overrun with prospective buyers, I would be willing to take anything of equal value in exchange.
Okay. Let's take a mint from the counter.
Alexander takes a mint from the dish on the counter.
And if you trade,
Alexander looks through his inventory to find an object to trade.
And here you can select anything to trade with the pawn shop owner. Sometimes you can get some funny responses with some of the stuff you try to trade. But for now, we will trade the copper coin. This will start a trade cycle that you will use repeatedly throughout the game. I have this copper coin. Is it of any value to you at all? Most interesting. I've never seen a Daventry coin before, but it is copper genuine enough. I might even find a buyer who is interested in foreign currency. The items on the front counter are the only things in the store that I can let go for the price of 1 copper. You may make your choice from there. Alexander looks at the items on the counter to make his selection. So here we have a mechanical nightingale, the flute, the paintbrush, and a tinderbox. We'll start with the mechanical nightingale. That mechanical nightingale looks intriguing. I believe I'll take it. Very good, sir. Enjoy the mechanical nightingale. Remember that I will take it back in trade at any time. And since we know about the map, let's try trading something really valuable. How about our royal insignia ring? Hopefully we can trade it back and get it back later. Would you be willing to take my family ring in exchange for the magic map? Daventry, are you a king then? No, that's my father, King Graham. I'm just Alexander. Well, Prince Alex, she is a beautiful ring. Are you sure you can part with such a unique family heirloom? The ring does mean a lot to me. I didn't always have a family, you know. Still, it is only gold. There are more important things at stake now. Then you now own a magic map, Prince Alex. I will keep your ring out of sight for a few days. If you find anything else of great value in your travels, you can return for your ring. I would hate to see it melted down for the gold. And a warning about the map. It will only operate when you are out in the open and within sight of the sea. The limitation has something to do with the teleport spell ingredients. You might try the beach. Thank you. You're very kind, and I'll remember about the map. Great, so we now own a magic map. Very important item. Suddenly, the old man in the concealing cloak sneaks past Alexander and, with a sneaky dart of his hand, steals a mint from the candy jar. The old man stuffs the mint into his mouth and wobbles unsteadily out of the pawn shop. I think that's a repurposed Hagatha animation. Seconds later in the castle. It's a King's Quest V genie appearing animation. Master! I've followed Prince Alexander as you wished from the pawn shop owner. He just abstained, just reprieved. He just got a magic map. You fool! You've been eating those mints again. I ordered you to stop that. That's so crazy. That's hilarious. Yes, master. Now, what is it about this magic map? With the map, Prince Alexander can travel anywhere as quickly as I can. What? I thought I took care of the only means of travel. By my scimitar, I can't have him stirring things up now. Get a hold of yourself and listen carefully, Shamir. Go to the other islands and tell them. Alright, folks. Thank you so much for watching this first part of this Let's Play. I am just so thrilled that you are here with me watching me play this game. Hope you're enjoying it. I certainly am. We're going to save here. Probably a good idea. I'm going to call it playthrough. And I will see you in the second video in this playlist. Please keep continuing watching, and I will see you soon. Take care.